terms of what students must do to revise for the exams, it's really important that they understand how they're going to be marked for these papers. They have to organise their notes. They've got yellow books at school, and a lot of students nearly at this late stage start doing mind maps and spider diagrams of the key text with the characters and the theme. There's nothing wrong with reading, watching or listening to the set text again. The more exposure they have to those stories, the better really. A lot of students listen to, there's free versions of the text on podcasts that they can listen to, and obviously there's televised versions of Macbeth and Romeo and Juliet that they can access through a lot of streaming platforms. Most important though really is they're going to have to start to memorise key quotations from the set text. As I said before, the poetry that they have to study, they're not going to have it in front of them. They're not going to have Romeo and Juliet or Macbeth in front of them. They need to remember some key quotations, and they can get you a long way through that exam if you've got a bank of 5 or 6 quotations that are really important from each text, so that you can go into the exam knowing that you're coming in with some quotations that you can analyse and link to the question that's set. We always recommend revision cards so that they can self-test. So on the back of the card they would have a character like Mrs. Burling, and on the other side of the card they would have 5 or 6 things they want to remember, which might include a quotation, and then they can test themselves by saying, okay, what do I remember about Mrs. Burling? And they flip the card over and see if they've remembered all the details that they wanted there. So revision cards are a really good way to check that they've actually put things into their memory that they're going to need for the exam. We've given students knowledge organisers, which are basic questions about the text, and again it's a case of covering the right hand side and asking themselves who is Sheila Burling, and then they can check the answers just so that they've got the basics. And of course some students have purchased revision guides, and the CGP guides and other revision guides are really great for just spending a little bit of time revisiting the poetry or different characters from their texts. In terms of what students could do beyond this, I mean, we're luckily in the internet age, we have got hundreds and thousands of revision videos for GCSE set text, and people like Mr. Brough is worth looking at YouTube, who talks about not only the literature text but how to apply, make sure you're hitting the mark scheme in language. GCSE Bite Size from BBC also contains key information, but really what it comes down to is once students have got all of their study notes together, got all their revision cards and got their mind maps for the set text sorted out, really the best way for them to practice is to just put themselves through that, what it's actually going to be like on the day, which means past essay questions or past examination papers. Teachers very happy to distribute as many of these as we want to students, and the good thing about doing this at this stage is that when they hand in that work, the teacher can give them personal feedback about which questions they're struggling with or which skills they might need to work on. And obviously that kind of personal feedback that students can receive can really make the difference, because it can identify the gaps or the errors that they need to try to fix. In terms of offering additional help and support, the first port of call obviously is their subject teacher, who will give them all the guidance and all the support and all the additional resources, and has got all the links to past papers and study materials that they can distribute. However, if they do want to do additional work after school, we have Study Plus running every Tuesday to Thursday, and we have English teachers down there to support students with their revision. And for a more specific English support, every Wednesday after school in E11 is something that we call Core Offer, where we are working with students on exam paper skills for the English language papers. At the minute we're looking at how to do the descriptive and story writing questions perfectly. So this is where students can go. If they are interested to go into Core Offer, have a word with their English teachers and we can add them to our lists. Other than that, they're welcome to Study Plus anytime. If you have any questions or do feel the need to contact me about anything, my name is Mr. McNaughton. You can find my email on the school website, and do send me an email if there's anything else that you think I can do to help your child with their exam preparations. Thanks for listening.